Testing audio. Can you hear me now? 64 degrees outside, 66 degrees inside. Somehow it's gotten warmer inside. Could it be because I'm burning candles? I think it stayed just that warm inside because of the residual heat left over from all those sunny days in our foundation and our walls. Are you kidding me? It's 10:37. It's practically kickoff time, T-Rex, and we haven't even been out the door yet. Well, actually, I was out the door a few minutes ago chatting with all the neighbors. That was really good. And look what we found. Blue sky. Although this is day 5 of the nor'easter. Let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Nope, day 4. Day 4 of the nor'easter. The wind is mostly up in the sky, over my head, and out over the ocean. Here is the map with the red numbers being wind gusts at about 8 o'clock this morning, and we're just gusting 20 to 25 now around Cape Cod, and the buoys well south and east of Nantucket are still gusting 34 to 38 miles per hour, and the seas are still churning. The buoy reports between 8 and 9 o'clock, 11-foot swell at Stellwagen buoy, but at least the wind is now only 17, 18 knots. So it's still kind of a nor'easter out there over the ocean. Meanwhile, people west and north have been saying, what storm? There's been no rain here, from central Connecticut north into Vermont, where it was a beautiful day, and the Big East set a record for attendance yesterday because it was so beautiful. And here in New England, we're measuring buckets full of rainfall. Yeah, it's maybe not that scientific, but it matches up. Here are the rainfall totals from the Cooperative Weather Observer in West Chatham. For the wind, 11.69 inches of rain since Thursday. So yesterday's video was called Historic Cape Cod Rainfall in Progress, something to that effect. And I don't think I was sensationalizing. I'm not a sensationalist kind of weatherman. I'm just a casual weatherman with a dog and a cat and birds and gardens. And as far as I can tell, 11 inches of rain over 3 days without a named tropical storm is probably sort of once or twice in a lifetime event. So I'm putting it in the books as historic. My neighbor up the road, Jeff Mers, he's meticulous with his measurements. He's got multiple rain gauges, including one inside of his house. And he's also got that Cocoraz kind of rain gauge, and he emptied it out and emptied it out and measured it all, and he came up with 8.1 inches of rainfall. And let's see how that compares to what I have in this bucket. I'm going to put my thumb right where the water is. I get a little over 8 inches. So my rudimentary rain gauge here matches up with his official rain gauge. So 8.1 is going in the books in Dennis. And what about, since he's been keeping records since 1992 here, he says that yesterday, 5.3 inches of rain, calendar day, September 21, is just shy of the record he set in August of 1992. So it was the second rainiest day since he's been keeping records here in Dennis. So there's your, if you were born after 92, once in a lifetime kind of rainfall. And the fact that it was so spread out means we didn't get the serious flooding. And the dust has been settled. Yes, Bob, on Chase Ave with your 6 inches, Bob Bach. The dust has settled on Cape Cod. In other parts of New England, we could really use some rainfall. And our weather watchers this morning out on the beach, Marlo Garnsworthy, Darius, all you guys out there every day, Peter Martika. Marlo was making a video of the sun coming almost through the clouds this morning, and this buoy washed ashore. And further review says that this is one of those buoys deployed to detect tagged sharks. So when Greg Skolmel or someone tags a shark, it has a little mini beacon on it, and that's how we monitor the shark activity. Well, we're one buoy down, but it looks like it's still healthy and will be redeployed. The stairs, on the other hand, at Marconi Beach, Peter Martika took a walk for us. It's a long walk to get to Marconi if you can't go down those stairs. I think you're coming from Nauset Light, is that right? And took these pictures of this sad situation. The cliff on the National Seashore always looks the same. It just keeps on moving inland. The fact that you don't have hard armor keeps the sand replenishing itself in the cliff. It's been the case my entire life, everyone's entire life. Barrier beaches are transient, and unfortunately that stairwell is now debris scattered all along the beach. Thank you, Peter, for scouring and checking that all out. Some good wood there. Salvage. In the olden days, there would be, I'm talking only 100 years ago, there'd be plenty of people down on the beach getting that wood and getting ready to make their own stairs or build a doghouse or build their own, maybe firewood. Anyhow, I think that's national seashore property now, the federal department, National Seashore Park Service. So what's next? All right, so this is day 4 of the storm. It's out in the ocean now, and it's not like it was one storm just sitting there. Here's the satellite image from the morning, and it's just kind of a line of clouds out there. We've had one storm after another, and you see the clearing off to the west and north, but more in New England's got clouds today than yesterday, and the heavy rain is pushed off to the south. So it's been a stationary front. We've been talking about it since August. It's been stalled from the Gulf of Mexico to Europe. Well, that front made it up to just off the mid-Atlantic, and we've seen a series of storms all the way back to Francine, and Francine shed elements that became potential tropical cyclone 8, and that never really got a name, but it did a lot of damage. That one had 18 inches of rain at Carolina Beach last week, and going forward, it's going to be kind of the same old story a little bit. We're going to get this front to settle off to the south and east away from New England. Giant storm in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and these are all the result of these little waves that have been developing near our benchmark and then going out to sea and really intensifying. So the Atlantic Ocean is churned up. The surface map this morning, I talk about the benchmark for 40 degrees north, 70 degrees west, and the low is still out there to the east of the benchmark, and it looks like it's going to fade south and east and away. So we're going to have improving weather, but the wind is still coming from the northeast, not that strong, but for several more tides. So we're going to have a little minor coastal flooding in Situate and Sassuat Harbor this afternoon, and I'll be covering that in Wellfleet, I think. And then the waters gradually abate, and we look elsewhere for weather. Off to the west, there's been a front stalled over the Midwest now for days and days. That front is going to gradually come in our direction. Usually a front that's over Minnesota will be here like the next day or two, but this one's taken 4, 5, 6 days. Why? Because of the strengthening North Atlantic negative oscillation. There it is in the red, going negative as strong as we've seen in months and months, and that's also known as the Greenland block. So storms really just have nowhere to go. And this is going to play a role also in the future of the next tropical cyclone, which likely is going to be Helene, deep in the Gulf of Mexico here over the next couple of days. So should we just go right to the play-by-play on the maps going forward? I think we should. We're already at 7 minutes. This is the Euro from pivotalweather.com. A major change, though, in the Friday forecast from yesterday by the Euro, and we didn't really trust what it had yesterday. So the front in the middle of the nation kind of coming at us and weakening and stalling out here on Thursday and Friday. Yesterday, there was a 995 low south of Nantucket on Friday. Well, it's gone. There's now a backdoor front on Friday, which crows. T-Rex chases crows. Crows chase hawks. T-Rex chases crows. Crows chase hawks. I chase clouds. There's altocumulus clouds up there. I love this. I'm putting some sunscreen on going out the door today. Where were we? Oh yeah, Friday. Yesterday, that was just a renegade run of the Euro where it had that low and storm. Another nor'easter looking terrible for next Friday. But we said that was a one-run thing. And now the Friday map shows a backdoor cold front, which is kind of what we're getting on these Fridays for next Friday. And Helene coming into the southeastern United States near the Big Bend of Florida is a hurricane. But there's an upper level low over the Mississippi Valley. It's going to kind of absorb Helene, and how that all plays out keeps New England dry over the weekend. So all these requests, Donald Peacock officiating a wedding on Nantucket, some other people camping at Scussett next weekend, probably Scussett, right? And anyhow, the forecast for New England next weekend looks a lot better than it did yesterday. And this makes a lot more sense, too, with that blocking. So if we go forward again to about Monday or so, now we'll stop it on Monday. And I love this map. It's almost the exact same setup when we had Francine, I get that name right? Francine stalled over Arkansas, and the new storm formed over the Bahamas. That's what it looks like there. And you got 1026 high. It's no blue H there, but just trust me. in southeastern Canada. And then I look to the upper left, and I love this. 1041 Alberta, Canada, high pressure system fueling perhaps the first blizzard of the season. Idaho, Montana, Wyoming. That's a lot of isobars, and the blue and purple is frozen precipitation. Yeah, bring it. And by the way, everyone's hoping for early snow here. Early snow generally means it's not going to be so good in the wintertime. At least that's how it works in New England. And so let's go forward after that, and you see all that mess in the northwest goes into Canada, all that mess in the southeast stays away, and we go back into a nice stretch of weather for New England. It's nice, that is, if you're not desiring heavy rains. We had so much rain during the summer that hopefully in Vermont, northern New Hampshire, western Maine, areas that have not seen the rain this month are still adequately moist. And the leaves are coming on strong. And the pumpkin way off in Colchester, Vermont, the John Young, the farmer we follow on X, came in 4th place for an about 1,100-pound pumpkin. Love the pumpkin way offs, love the pumpkin chunkin. You know what pumpkin chunkin is? It's the autumnal equinox this morning. So why then, if it was the autumnal equinox, equal day and night, the sun right over the equator, right? Equinox, equal. Why did the sun come up this morning at 6:29 and it's going down this evening at 6:37, making for a length of day of 12 hours and 8 minutes? Tell me that, Dr. Kelly. I'm no doctor, but in college, the way it was explained to me was, well, the Earth is not exactly round. Nothing is round. It's all kind of wavy, and the Earth is fatter at the equator than at the poles, making Earth an oblate spheroid. And there are eccentricities in the orbit of the oblate spheroid that cause today not to have equal day and night. Yesterday I got almost 4,000 views on the video. That's about 10 times more than normal. So people that don't know me are probably saying, who is this guy? Why does he talk so much? We do this every day. It's a weather discussion, and the fact that T-Rex loves to come out, we got a cat named Steve that loves to come out, we turn it into out the door weather and more. And we talk about nature. And the and more for today's video is going to be yesterday watching the historic rainfall in progress and attending a wedding. Of course, the service was indoors, Holy Trinity in Harwich. Great sense of humor. Thou shalt not park here. I thought that was funny. But we let Janet out and she ran in the door through the rain. And then we came out of the church and went to the party, and there was a magnificent event, a huge tent. And even though the ground was muddy, Rob and crew and Greg, our host, put the plywood on the ground, and the DJ was wonderful, and the crowd and the families. Congratulations, Kaylee and David. May you have many, many walks together out the door, whether or not, in the rain or sun or whatever it is. And that's Brother Kevin starting up his power equipment. It's a Sunday thing. Every Sunday, he goes out the door and makes his yard as pretty as it can be. All right. Oh, no, it's one of the other neighbors. Talk to you tomorrow.
Thou shalt not park here. How about if we disembark with the umbrellas? The Lord gives us bounties of rainfall. Our gardens are pleased. Well, maybe they're overwhelmed.
The same from that family. I hope someone checked it out. I would have not have any issues. Kids.
half a foot of rain and
Not much erosion at all.
all right, 1:30 update. Just got back from the church, going to the reception. Bucket's been out here in a pretty average spot. Oh my goodness. We've passed 8 inches of rain now. Yeah, that's historic. But it's come over 3 days, so that's why we're not seeing the roads washing down the hill. So we're just gonna walk through that puddle right there, Janet. All right, Janet, if you can just get out and walk through that mud right there. I think that's the way up to the tent. So here we are, plenty of room to park. Can we go hang out in the garage? I want to go hang in the garage.
You recognize the spot? It's where we do the water testing for Bass River. All in the family. Bass River's a little bit higher today than last few days. To the tent.
Love it. Cranberry Corner, handcrafts and antiques. That was a big tent. They did all they could do. Put a floor down inside of it. Not much more you can do. Who thought there'd be 8 inches of rain? Hydrangea are loving it though. That's the tunes. Need the plywood. Last minute plywood installation. Bride and groom. Family over there. All working out. Cloud candy. I know cloud candy when I see one. What a day. There's some sweet cloud candy. 8 inches of cloud candy today. I think it would bury this can right behind it.
What? Yeah.
Make some noise for Megan and Matt! Here we go for kids with Hayden and Kevin! And we also make some noise for Heather and Joe! And now I need everybody, please rise and give a loud, warm welcome for Kaylee and Kay!
Update. Just barely dripping, still blowing. And how do you like your rock? I like my rock on the rocks, please. I like my rocks on the rock. That, looking back through time. It's an erratic boulder. A bunch of perfectly systematically placed rocks on top of the rock. The rocks around here. This whole place rocks. It's awesome. Jenny. And for our final trick, the birds don't care what the weather is doing. or if there's traffic coming. All right, fun day. Rather historic, but not quite. All right, one more group of turkeys. I think most of the seed is gone, so now they're just getting the grubs. All right, the lawn survived. On to the next rainstorm. We'll be fine. The turkeys are chasing each other. That's hilarious. Wow, those are beautiful peace lilies. How much rain did you get?
We're gonna find out. I got 4.5 inches in that one, and this is the gauge that'll break the record, hopefully. I already emptied the inch out that was in here, so there's the line with no tube in it.
That's 24 hours?
I checked it. Are you videotaping now? This is the reliable gauge. The tube was inside. I dumped the inch to measure the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to empty this in here.
This dude is serious.
It's probably going to be exactly a 1/2 inch. It's over. We got
No, that's more.
We got the
You
record.
did it. You did it.
It's still raining. We're wasting rain total right now. Put it all back together.
Such a geek.
It may not look pretty, but it does the job. The old Weather Channel. And I think that even wore off, yeah. And we'll go put it back where it should be. Back where the record was set. But we'll have to come over here to the weather log. And let's shut the screen so we don't let any more bugs in the house. Thank you. I didn't even write anything down for today.
All right. So the last 2 days.
So
Do
when
you
I
go midnight to midnight, or do you go 8 a.m. to 8 a.m.?
sometimes I go storm to storm.
Yeah.
So I basically shouldn't have touched this since it started raining.
All right.
1.6 I measured. Today's the 21st, so that was like 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon is when I did 1.6. So that happened overnight, and that was the first rain we've had since September 1st.
I remember that front.
So 1.6 and 6.5 would be 8.1. 8 inches.
8.1. So my bucket was right over there at my house with the 8 inches.
And that's pretty funny. That's very inexact science, and you're going to ruin us weather.
But it's a 5-gallon bucket. What
You're
can...
going to ruin it for all us weather geeks that try to do it properly. Yeah. Anniversary special.
Anniversary of the
Which is
1930
today.
hurricane.
Everett S. Allen,
Officially
journalist and author of
did not break the record between two gauges.
Hurricane.
530.
What's the record?
550. Set 92. 1992 still holds the record after all these years by 0.2 of an inch. I learned to not question anybody's weather data. Wherever they are, that's what the data they got. I've questioned the wind. We talk about the low temperatures of Martha's Vineyard all the time. That's what their thermometer is recording. That's what their rain gauge is recording. That's how much snow they measured. Period.
Yeah.
Light rain all day. Rain yesterday and last evening, and epic downpours this morning with thunder. And lightning was offshore.
Close to historic, but not quite.
Nope, we missed it by 0.2 of an inch. The record still holds.
So
Well,
far.
what I'm going to write in a book, I have to total it all up and get that light out of my face.
No,